soon.
Welcome to the Freak Show, everyone. Today's showcase is for the newest Yu-Gi-Oh film, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimension. This film is a follow-up to the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga's ending. The original anime's ending had everyone there for Tim to pass on to the afterlife. However, Seto Kaiba was not there in the manga's version. So now you know the background to this film. One thing you all are probably caught on to by now is the different art style used for this film. For anyone curious to why it looks like this instead of the original anime's art style, it's because the newest Yu-Gi-Oh! Series at the time looked like this. However, unlike that series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, I personally like the newer designs here for the classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters. I like the original designs, I mean that's how I learned to draw and everything, but I feel these designs match their ages a lot better. Also, I'm going to say this for the anime collectors out there like me, this DVD is a good one. It's a 4Kids anime with the Japanese audio track, and the English audio track is full of the 4Kids cheese you've come to know and love.
そして人の神経を逆なでする態度までも奴の生き写しだが所詮俺の記憶映像に過ぎない。そんな過去のビジョンに勝利することに何の意味がある。予定通りこの新型デュエルディスク発表の準備を急げ。
Strategies, even his perfectly coiffed hair. In fact, that part is what took the longest. But still, it wasn't the real Pharaoh, so I didn't really beat him. And until I do, my scars of defeat will continue to burn. Fire whoever designed that bottle. Kaiba Corp's products shouldn't bend that easily.
Yes, understood.
Also, the English cast from the original series come back to reprise their roles for this movie, which is a nice touch. For a bonus feature, the English cast talks about their favorite moments in the series. It's funny hearing the voice of Tristan say his favorite moment is being turned into a robot monkey.
Do I have a favorite memory of Yu-Gi-Oh? Tristan did turn into a monkey for several episodes, which was completely strange and bizarre. It was just bizarre to do as a voice actor, and it was bizarre for the character.
I actually thought that was surprising. Plus, some surprise interviews by Eric Struart and Dan Green. This interview shows how passionate Eric Struart is about voice acting and the character of Seto Kaiba a lot. Dan Green is truly a sweetheart. You can feel the amount of love and adoration he has for the fans of this series, and for his character of Yugi and Tim. However, that's all the background knowledge I have for this film. The film begins with Yugi and Taya making their way to school, spotting Mikuro being surrounded by fangirls.
Help! This supermodel's one of my fangirls!
Cut to everybody on top of the rooftop of the school building eating lunch because, you know, anime. The gang starts talking about their future plans for themselves. Taya talks about her dream of going to America and becoming a famous dancer. Joey decides he wants to become a pro duelist. Aim high, Joey. Tristan says because of his father, his future plans are pretty much set in stone. With coaching from Taya, Yugi shares his dream of wanting to create his own game. There's two things I like about this scene. First, the framing of the shot makes you feel like you're part of the conversation, which is a nice detail. Second is the detail about everyone's future and their goals. I believe these fit their characters real well. After that nice scene, we're introduced to Igami, or Deva, as everybody tries to remember his name. Mikuro has to remind everybody who he is, which is a weird detail. Deva is where most of my problems with this film come from. Deva is the super special. He's got the 8th Millennium item that allows him to control the planet. You're probably wondering, what is Plana? Well, here's the definition. I know, I find it confusing as well. A little while into the film, after dealing with this sleep paralysis demon, we're introduced to Deva's sister. These designs for these characters feel way too forced Egyptian, in my opinion. I mean, look at Merrick Ishtar and his sister Ishizu Ishtar. I mean, they look more Egyptian without clashing with everybody else in the series. By the way, where's Seto Kaiba? I know he's supposed to be part of this movie too.
I've been waiting for you, Pharaoh.
Oh yeah. Cut to the first duel of the movie. Time to talk about Kaiba's new dual disc. It's super cool, however the part about connecting to the user's brain, I don't know. I guess Kaiba's never watched the anime's Dog Hack Signs or Sword Art Online. Mokuba connects with Kaiba to tell him the whereabouts of the Millennium Puzzle. After arriving in Egypt in his Blue Eyes plane and dropping out like a boss,
I am now a member of the Mile High Club!
Davis shows up and the Kaiba Corp company shows a scary level of intel.
My network of security tech says that you were in the town of Domino minutes ago. How is it you're suddenly here?
Now it's time for this film's special kind of dueling, dimension dueling. I'm not going to show off these duels because they make no sense. Davis says it links to your spiritual power, which is just complete bullshit. I will talk about Davis' deck being made for this film. I feel it's not fun to play or play against in a duel. Also, his archetype is called Cubics. And only 2 of the monsters have a cube in their artwork. In this duel, Kaiba does play an Egyptian god card, Obelisk the Tormentor, which is kind of cool. I told you, this film makes no sense, but I love it sometimes. Mokuba is able to make off with the Millennium Puzzle's pieces. David, however, is able to grab 2 of the pieces for himself. Cut to Joey having a nightmare about Kaiba.
Hey! That there on your arm, is that the new dual disc?
Yes, it is. But you can't have it. You're not worthy.
I am so... Hey! Stop laughing! I am so worthy! I'm so... dreaming?
Also, Yugi is the school's valedictorian. That's cool. David is here too. Boy, that was quick. And his sister too. Okay. David also gives away one of the 2 puzzle pieces he got for the Millennium Puzzle. The gang decides to hang out after school and David asks if he can tag along too. After a while, David, Joey, and Bakura decide to walk together to Yugi's place. This is where we learn that David and Bakura, the evil spirit of Millennium Ring and David, have history. Joey is sent to the Plana, not the Shadow Realm. This is where one of the themes of the movie come into play, that being the cycle of fear and pain. I will say that this scene had to rewrite a lot of the Yugioh manga's history in order to make sense, but that's how it works out sometimes. However, it makes Deva question his ideals, and that's always fun. After the rest of the gang go looking for Joey and Bakura, Davis shows up talking big about the Plana. Then, boom, Joey shows back up thanks to an old friend. Yugi then runs into Kaiba talking about the Millennium Puzzle and his new tournament that he's holding. In the middle of the road, then Yugi almost gets run over. Thanks, Kaiba. Now time for the tournament Kaiba's holding for his new dual disc system and the Millennium Puzzle.
Duelists from around the world, what you just witnessed is but a taste of the technology possible with my new dual disc.
God, I love this asshole. Yugi mans up and duels Deva before Kaiba. And it's another dimension duel. Yay. Look, I've said this before, but I dislike this style of dueling. It feels very forced. Yugi wins that duel, and now it's time for Yugi versus Kaiba, where the real action shows. This is where the main theme of the film becomes really spelled out. Moving on. If you haven't caught on, Yugi has been trying so hard to move on from a 10 throughout this movie. Everyone was talking about their futures, aka moving on to a better tomorrow. Deva wishes to avenge his master. I know it's ironic coming from a nostalgia baiting movie made by Konami to talk about this message, but it's a good one. I really do appreciate it. Kids need to hear this message. Then the Millennium Ring decides to take over Deva, which I do feel like is a really cool touch to have the evil you wish to vanquish become your catalyst to your corruption. Such a cool idea. Deva comes back looking like a Lovecraft monster, which is even more cool. I miss this style of freakiness in Yu-Gi-Oh! Then another dimension duel, this time with Kaiba and Yugi teaming up. Yay! After believing he was going to lose, Tim shows up. Production note here, Tim never says a word in this whole film, not even in the flashbacks, which is definitely odd. The evil of the ring is defeated again, everyone is saved from the Plana, and the end of the film shows Taya flying to America, Yugi with a smile on his face thinking about his future, Kaiba making a machine using the Plana to challenge Tim to a tournament's card game, and then the film ends. Final thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh's Dark Side of the Dimension? It's a weird film for sure, there's no questioning that. The message of this film is a good one, however, Kaiba kept on acting up and shooting the message in its foot because he kept on refusing to move on and the film rewarded him for it. So it felt kind of forced if you ask me. By the way, like, comment, share, and sub to the Freak Show for more showcases in the future. Thank you everyone, and goodbye.